I'm watching for whenever Jerry comes in. Are you good? No, we're good.
Getting ready to get started. I'd like to call the meeting to order. It is a regular meeting. It is July 13th and it's 7 p.m. Our first, okay. Yes, we need to do the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God. And justice for all.
Adam, did you want to do the presentation?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Well, good evening, everyone. Hope everyone's having a great night. We're going to start tonight off with a couple of celebrations. First one being our baseball team, who's coming in right now. Come on in, guys. So just to kind of put this season in a little bit of context for our team. So they were obviously our conference champions. They were obviously our district champions. And they were a Final Four team in the state of Missouri in our class, which is an unbelievable accomplishment by our players and our coaches. But to give it a little more, if I would have paid you $1,000 to stand that close to one another, but to put it in a little more of the context, in our conference, all SCAA. So we had the player of the year in Jeff Chipwood. First team all conference players were Isaiah Rose, Clark Menley, Will Geary, and Gavin Hubbard. Second team all conference, Chase Boyd and David Rose. Honorable mention, Peyton Walker, Cooper Bell-Chamber, and Sean Warren. 10 of our players that were first, second, or all are honorable mention in our conference. That's outstanding. But at the next step, all district level, we had quite a few people who were recognized at the all district level. Jeff Chipwood, Will Geary, Gavin Hubbard, Clark Menley, and Isaiah Rose were all voted all district this year. That's outstanding. All Metro. For the larger St. Louis metro area, we had 2 players who were nominated for All Metro, Jeff Chipwood and Will Geary. And what is an even more amazing accomplishment, we did have 1 first team All-State player, Jeff Chipwood. For our players and our coaches, thank you very much for an outstanding year. It was a lot of fun to watch you compete. I know the year started a little rough, but after that, man, things took off. It was sure a pleasure to watch you play. The joy, the energy, the competitive spirit, it didn't matter if you were up or down, you guys played the game the right way. You guys gave everything you had. That's a testament to you as our players, but also in the way our coaches have coached them up. So thank you to all of you. Thank you for Coach Menley up here to introduce the players and coaches who were able to join us.
So yeah, we didn't really know how to act, as you can tell. So this was kind of new to us too. So we just kind of rolled with it. We did well. We kept winning, and that's the way our season went. So anyway, first my coaches. I have Coach Billicky and Coach Rawls behind me.
And Turner.
And Coach Turner. All right, we have David Rose. I guess step forward, raise your hand. David Bowling. Geary. Walker. Jeff Chitwood. Isaiah Rose. Sean Ward. Colin Fowler. And Chase Boyd. So it was a fun year. Thank you.
Again to our coaches and players for everything you've done. We don't often get to do a June athlete of the month, but we actually did have a team playing in the month of June this year, and so it's a lot of fun. We will be recognizing today Isaiah Rose. Come on up, Isaiah. So Isaiah was nominated by Coach Mendel. He's proud to nominate junior Isaiah Rose the June athlete of the month. Isaiah helped lead the Hawks to the state Final Four this year and was a workhorse on the mound, posting an 8-3 record with a 3.04 ERA. He was 5-0 in conference. Isaiah also plays great at first base and batted .397 with 26 RBIs. He's a quiet leader who doesn't say a whole lot, but does his talking with his great work ethic and performance. Isaiah is a great teammate and shows respect to his coaches, opponents, and umpires as well. He's a wonderful athlete and a joy to have as a player on the Hawks baseball team. Congratulations, Isaiah, and thank you for your outstanding effort and dedication. Gentlemen, thank you all very much. I know you don't want to stay for the rest of the riveting stuff, but you're welcome. Thanks. I'm clear.
You ready, Dr. Monroe?
Oh, yeah. Right.
That's okay. You were waving.
Well, I'm glad to be here tonight to give you an update on the strategic plan for the elementary. I know last month, middle school and high school and SSD was, they were able to present, so I'm happy to be here. We're gonna go ahead and get started. So I have my notes here because I was afraid I wouldn't be able to see that back there. So pillar one was ensuring our students' success. And it's about college and career readiness. It's about personalized learning and engagement. So our three goals for this pillar were by the end of the 21-22 school year, 80% of our students would grow 1 year of reading as measured by Teacher College. So the outcome of that was 82% of our elementary students met this goal. Our math goal was by the end of 21-22 school year, 80% of our students, first through fifth grade, would complete at least 3 to 5 DreamBox lessons weekly, and the outcome was students completed an average of 4.1 lessons a week. And then lastly, by the end of 21-22 school year, administrators and counselors will develop a career exploration program. And then the outcome of that was students participated in 2 weeks of career exploration activities. Continuing on with that, pillar one is creating a culture of belonging. And our key work to ensure that this happens at the elementary school is our Hawkway. I'm sure you've all heard about our Hawkway values. We created an attendance club. We made phone calls home to families, and these phone calls were made by teachers, counselors, and administrators. We use the second steps curriculum, K through 5. Our teachers have morning meetings. And then we identified the students who were high risk on the Sager's ratings scales. And then we provided those students with additional counseling service. And then this week, this year, we added a bully prevention week. And then pillar 2, valuing our talented staff. So this year, we really worked on gathering feedback and insights on our PD from our staff. We worked on our tier 1 instruction through the math workshop model. We met weekly and monthly in our data team meetings to talk about students and how we could advance them and what interventions they might have needed. And then we did rounding conversations with our teachers. And of course, we always recognize our teachers and celebrate their accomplishments. And there's a picture of Karen Clark. She was got her national board certification. So pillar 3, engaging our families and community. So we want to strengthen school and classroom relationships with our families. So this year, 97% of our families were contacted by classroom teachers within the first 2 weeks of school. 100% of our new families were contacted either by myself or Mrs. Fitzpatrick. 92% of our families participated in the fall conferences, and 89% participated in spring conferences. We send weekly newsletters home through via email to all our families to keep them up to date. And lastly, we were able to welcome back some in-person activities at the elementary school, such as field day, concerts, musicals, etc. Oh, one exciting thing, we made 100 positive phone calls home on the 100th day of school. That will become a tradition at the elementary level. So that was met with a lot of success with our families. Okay, pillar 3, continuing on, is engaging our families and community and enriching that campus connections and those community partnerships. So I don't know how many times in interviews when we're going through the interview process and the candidates ask, what do you like best about Valley Park? And you know, it's always the same answer. It's that community. It's that sense of we're all in this together. You get to watch students come through the elementary and go all the way up to the high school and have those relationships. So something that we've been doing is we've been, we have the 8 high school mentors that come into the elementary school, but we've never taken any data on that. So we did twice this school year, we did a survey, and the outcome was 100% of the teachers thought that the students were helpful. And then the student outcome was 80% enjoyed their mentoring experience. So, you know, it's good to start gathering data on that. We also have the high school leadership class, and they're always in our building doing fun things and activities with our elementary kids. And of course, the middle school cross-age tutors. Good clip. There we go. All right, this one, probably some of the work that we're most proud of at the elementary school is enriching those community partnerships. And here are just a few that we partner with our community, and it's our Kids with Class. They did community donations. So they did a food drive for a Circle of Concern. They collected coloring books for Children's Hospital. We partner with the Assistant League, the little library that sits in front of the elementary school. They supply books and are constantly replenishing those for our students. Our Pause for Reading, the dogs come in and read with our students. Our students read with the dogs. And of course, our Oasis tutors, and some of those are local Valley Park residents that are part of that Oasis tutoring program. Of course, Champion Church, we can't thank them enough for everything they do. They supply the packs for pails, so we send food home with kids on the weekend. The school supplies, the treats that they drop off for the staff, they're a constant in our building, and we are so thankful for their partnership. BJC supplies books for our students. Local businesses donate. For example, Hugh Orthodontics for the last 5 years provide a whole entire Thanksgiving dinners for some of our families. They bring up the turkeys, everything down. And another partnership that we have is with a team of nurses and doctors through Mercy Hospital. And they usually adopt probably like 3 of our families. And they are so generous. I mean, they come with U-Hauls and to provide Christmas gifts and couches and mattresses, and they fix the cars and whatever the need is for that family. They help in many ways. Of course, our PTO this year in teacher grants, it was almost $6,000 that they gave to our teachers and teacher grants. So very thankful for them. Our Teacher Appreciation Week, they take care of our teachers that week, the book fairs, the classroom parties, and of course, the field day. Okay, some of our celebrations, and I just picked the top 3 from our surveys that we did this year. So the student engagement survey, my principal is a good leader. That was a 4.64. My teacher cares about me was 4.63. And then my learning is important at my school, 4.51. The parent satisfaction survey, my family is treated with respect at the school, 4.57. The teacher and staff and administration at the school demonstrates a genuine concern for my child, 4.49. My child's learning is a high priority at the school, 4.47. And then our employee engagement survey, my principal or supervisor demonstrates a genuine concern for my welfare, 4.42. My principal or supervisor sets clear expectations for judging my performance, 4.23. And then my principal and supervisor provides feedback on my strengths as an employee, 4.1. So our work for 22-23, like where do we want to go? What are our growth opportunities? So let's go back to that pillar 1. So our goal this year was 80% of our students would achieve 1 year's worth of reading growth. We're going to bump that up to 85. And I believe we can make that goal. And then 100% of our elementary teachers will either begin or continue the implementation in that math workshop model to strengthen our tier 1 instruction. That's the instruction that goes on in classrooms every day. And then we're going to use our SABRS data to determine the social, emotional, and behavioral needs of our students. Pillar 2, what is our growth opportunities? What are our goals for our staff? 100% of our staff will engage in PD choice strands, allowing for ongoing implementation of their learning and new learning. And then we want to increase our mean score from 3.92 to 4.0 on item 10. My principal or supervisor provides feedback concerning areas for improving my performance. And then pillar 3, growth opportunities. We want to maintain a score of at least 4.57 on the parent satisfaction survey. Item 4, my family is treated with respect. And then maintain all those relationships that we have that I talked about with the community, the PTO, the stakeholders, and other entities within the larger communities to support our students and our educators. One last slide. Oh, there you go. Okay, I just want to thank the board for your continued support for our students and staff at the elementary school. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Mr. Hamilton, you're up.
Sounds good. Well, thank you for allowing me to come in tonight and provide you an update on our strategic plan for activities and athletics. Kind of like we started earlier, I want to start a little bit with some celebrations. It was an amazing year for both our activities and our athletics. Softball conference champions, girls soccer, first ever district championship, second ever conference championship, baseball, Zero Tonight Conference, district championship, state final 4. We had an amazing performance of the Little Mermaid. We had a track 100-meter state qualifier. Our band put on outstanding concerts both here and at Six Flags. Stuco hosted a leadership conference for area schools that had over 13 schools bring student councils here to learn from our kids and our moderators about leading that. It was an amazing experience. We saw great growth in boys soccer, cross country, volleyball, boys and girls basketball, and our golf programs. Our cheerleading program performed at all home basketball games and hosted a youth camp and performance for over 60 plus Valley Park students. That was an amazing thing to watch and see coordinated. On behalf of our athletes and students, we had 35 all-conference nominations, 22 all-district nominations, 3 sports with the Conference Player of the Year, 1 all-state nomination in baseball, 15 FBLA district placers, 3 Stuco Distinguished Student Leaders, 5 band students received an outstanding rating at districts, and 1 band student received an exemplary rating at districts and competed at state. It was an outstanding year for our kids, our moderators, our coaches. And that goes to the environment that was created here at Valley Park that allows those students to succeed. I'm so proud of what they have done this year, and I can't wait to see the amazing things they do moving forward. In talking about strategic playing goals, for us, the very first one, creating a culture of belonging under Pillar 1, the key work was to try to create opportunities for students to cultivate a sense of belonging through participation in diverse and inclusive set of student activities and athletics. Early on in the school year, we did a survey of our students. All high school and middle schoolers were sent a survey. And the first thing that jumped out at us was over 60% of our students don't know how to figure out what we actually offer in terms of activities. So it's a very easy problem to solve. So the very first thing we've done is a very basic idea was to include this in our activities and athletics handbook that we have on our webpage. And we'll talk a little bit how we'll take it a step further. But the idea is that if we can put more information in our students' hands about what we offer, what opportunities exist, they have a chance to do things that they didn't fully expect. And the other sense of creating a sense of belonging was in our athletic programs. The one thing that can unite every program we have on our campus is a campus-wide strength and conditioning program. The way athletics have gone nowadays, it's great to be a multi-sport athlete. I love the fact we have them here. But training them physically to have their bodies prepared for the beating that it takes to play 2 and 3 sports is absolutely essential. So we started the Hawk Power program this year, which is a morning program. Actually started last summer, continued through the school year in the morning, has continued this year. Giving our students opportunities to learn safe and effective fundamental movement patterns while building the athletic capacity is going to help us in the long run. The more students we have involved in this, the more of our students are going to find success, but also decrease injury. So those are the action steps for this year, but where do we take this moving forward? So for our freshman orientation coming up on, I believe it's August 15th, we're actually going to have an activities and athletics fair where our freshmen are going to be able to talk to other students who are in our clubs and in our sports. The teachers don't sell the sport. The teachers don't sell the club. It's the kids. The kids are going to give the best opportunity to show other students what they're capable of. And so we'll be leaning into that the first part of this year. We're also going to work this year to create a shared vision of what students want activities and athletics to be at Valley Park. The larger picture is, what do you want us to offer? It doesn't matter what Adam thinks is fun and interesting. It doesn't matter what any one individual teacher thinks. What do our kids want? So we'll be working through the course of this year, taking survey data from all of our students during advisory lessons to figure out, what do we offer that you like? So in other words, what are we doing that you want to continue? What are we not doing that you want to see? And what things can we change to what we are currently doing to make them better? These things will all help us make sure that we are offering students the things that they want that are going to get them excited, keep them on campus. Finally, we're looking to create actually a sports management and promotion class as part of our curriculum here, giving students the opportunity to leverage their digital skills to help promote the school. Nothing says a culture of belonging like I'm a part of something by being able to say, one of my classmates helped promote me. This is a curriculum that has been in use in the North Kansas City School District, and we've been in contact with them about implementing a very small version of that here, where students can actually get college and career readiness credit while also doing things to help support their fellow classmates here at Valley Park. So over the course of the next year, we'll be designing that curriculum and making it available for our students the following year. In terms of Pillar 2, valuing our talented staff, this year's key work is complete training for myself to help us help our coaches design a system that's going to help them get better. One of the things that I remember as a teacher and as a coach was when I was not given choice in the professional development I had. I was told what to do. It never met my needs, and I was always spending my own time learning the things I needed to learn. So over the course of this year, I have completed both the Inside Out Initiative training, which is a national organization designed to help foster transformational coaches in an education-based athletics setting. And then also part of that group is the training with a group called What Drives Winning Environments. So that was the work we did this year. The action steps were, I'm a founding member of the Missouri cohort of the Inside Out Initiative. This is something that Misha is pushing through a partnership with the Hunt Foundation, so the people who own the Kansas City Chiefs, about creating transformational purpose. If we're here to win games and win games alone, we're missing the point of education-based athletics. So there's a very distinct process where we create transformational purpose statements, a unified definition of success, common language, collective purpose, and then how do we roll that out to our students, to our parents, to our coaches. So this year was a lot of that foundational work. This next year, in terms of our next steps, is to work with our coaches to take that first step, create transformational purpose statements. This was mine that I created as we went through this. I lead to create opportunities for students to feel a sense of belonging and achieve success. It's a personal mission statement. It should guide every decision I make. We'll work with our coaches, our student athletes, and our parents this year to create a common definition of success. If a student takes part in an athletic event or an activity here, what does that look like? What is our hope for them? How do we define what success looks like? By the end of this year, when we have a common definition of success, it tells our coaches, our players, our community, what we value in athletics and activities. And it's also going to be the starting point to reverse design an evaluation and feedback system for our coaches. If our coaches and families and players say, this is what we want, this is what success looks like, we'll then design the system to help our coaches get the feedback, to help our players feel comfortable giving feedback, to get us to reach that end goal. Next was in Pillar 4. Key work was this year to evaluate the systems and processes we have in the activities department to ensure efficient and effective use of resources. In doing so, we have embarked on this year a pretty ambitious self-evaluation system created by the NIAAA. So the NIAAA is the national organization. There's an MIAAA, which is the state affiliate organization for high school athletic administrators. And over the course of this last year, I've used the NIAAA Quality Program Award rubric to create an evaluation of our athletic department and our activities department. This was an award rubric created by industry professionals, so other people who are extremely experienced in running high school athletic administrative departments. And in doing so, they came across 10 large buckets. The 10 that are listed up there: philosophy, educational compatibility, mentoring, safety and risk management, access and equity, budget and supplemental fundraising, personnel and program assessment, innovation and creativity, technology, and sports medicine. So what I've done is this year I've taken all 10 of those buckets along with all of the subheadings and looked at what we currently do and how does that score against what the rubric says is a 10. Where are we doing really well? Sports medicine is one we're doing very well in. Safety and risk management. Where do we need to step up our game a little bit? Technology, philosophy, mentoring opportunities for our coaches and new coaches, for our players. And we created a self-assessment that we're then going to use over the course of the next 5 years to address those growth areas. So over the course of this year, we'll be attacking buckets 1 through 3. Those align most closely with the work we'll be doing about defining what success looks like at Valley Park and with creating those transformational purpose statements. And over the course of the next 5 years, we'll systematically attack all 10 to the point where no earlier, no later than the 2026 school year, we'll actually apply for the quality programming award through the NIAAA. Only 38 schools nationwide have ever earned this distinction. It's something that they only give out to about 3 to 7 school districts at a time. And I think it's something that's very, very tangible. But more important than the award itself is the process it creates for systemic improvement. This is not something that's going to be done in 5 years and forgotten about. In 5 years from now, when we have completed our initial self-assessment and we have applied for this award, we will then start back over at the beginning. Okay, now 5 years down the road. We may have thought sports medicine was good when we started. Where do we rank now? So it creates a systemic process of self-improvement and evaluation for our department in every possible bucket that industry professionals have defined as being necessary for an outstanding department. And then finally, pillar 3, this is out of order because it has a little bit here at the end. Strengthening school and classroom relationships with our families. Key work this year is to promote connection between school and community through promoting the amazing things our students are doing in activities and athletics. To that end, the action step this year really was creation and use of the activities department Twitter account to send out weekly schedules, to highlight personal achievements, things our kids have done well. Another action step this year was to increase our youth camp offerings. We had a very robust set of offerings last year. We offered more this year. Our total participants increased from year 1 to year 2. Anytime we can get kids on our campus interacting with our kids, they're learning about what it means to be a Hawk. Right now, I can't think of any better opportunity for a future baseball player than riding the high of our team just coming off the Final Four, and then one of those kids teaching you the game and the love of the game. So those opportunities where our kids can be on our campus, learning from our kids, learning from our coaches, are invaluable, helping them realize there is a place for them here. As we move forward, where do we go from here? We are going to take that Twitter page and turn it into a Facebook page so that it does reach a larger portion of the community. We will be having online gear stores this year that are going out 2 weeks before the start of every season for individual branded team apparel that parents will be able to offer from. We partnered with a community member, Tony Rudolph, and Arts Team Sports, to be able to offer those for each and every season. And the big one moving forward was the creation of a booster club, a way to get our community involved in helping to support activities and athletics. So far, over the course of the last 6 to 8 months, since it was really brought up for the first time, I've been gathering data from school districts all across the St. Louis area. Big districts like Rockwood, smaller districts that are more like us, like Brentwood. So we can come together and put together a tangible document and a working organization that fits with the goals of our district. So we've created a booster club creation checklist, draft bylaws that have been pulled together from a variety of different school districts governing how money is handled, how the corporation needs to be formed, as well as startup documents, including sample meeting minutes and sample agendas, so that we can run this in alignment with a board policy that we will be putting to you to have a first reading of very shortly, but also putting aside with best practices for money management, for management of people, for making sure we engage as much of the community as possible. And to that front, Eddie Walker will be our first Booster Club president. He tried to deny it on his way in, but I told him I recorded him.
It's live now.
Yeah.
It's in a PowerPoint, so it's there. I just wanted to invite Eddie up for a second to say something.
Just real quick, thank you, Adam, for kind of putting everything together. It's been a lot of work in the process. The paperwork has been filed to the state for the corporation set up, so that is in the mail on the way to Jefferson City. We will be working, a couple of community members offered their support and help to set up the 501c3. So we'll be working on that next. And really the creation of this comes from the discussions I've had with Adam and coaches, is just the funding that our programs have and seeing what other schools have access to that we don't. You know, we learned during COVID that people needed to watch the games when they couldn't attend. Well, they still won't watch the games when they can attend, because you think about a lot of our sports start at 4 o'clock. So we got to come up with a way, and it's expensive, right? We've talked about Huddle, we talked about the other game changer broadcasting. So that's one thing that we want to work on. But as Adam and I talked, we didn't, I did not want this to look at a sports only. So it is an activities and athletics booster club. So once everything's kind of created, get back with Adam and we'll kind of put something out to, get some community members on board from sports and activities. And I know Adam's created a kind of an application type thing for once it's all set up, that when we have money raised, that the coaches or activities directors can file to apply for donations or a gift from booster club. So if there's any questions for me, I'll be glad to answer them. But again, thank you, Adam, for setting all of it up. It's a really big folder, and a lot of material. so.
And any of you are welcome to see any of the documents that we've shared with Eddie are linked in the PowerPoint presentation, so you can see those. But I do want to say thank you, Eddie. This is not a simple thing. It's not an easy thing. Being a Booster Club president is a large responsibility. And despite what you said walking through the door, all kidding aside, you've never once hesitated to support our kids, our community, and been supportive of me. So I do appreciate that. Look forward to working with you on this. And that was our presentation. Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Adam and Betty. Questions for a while, so I'm very happy to hear that it's moving forward. And it sounds like a lot's been accomplished, so thank you very much, both of you.
All right, Mr. Polk, bring it home.
All right, good evening, everybody. Just want to thank you all for being here tonight. Let me talk a little bit about the maintenance department and some of our goals and accomplishments this year. Okay, so ours is a little different in the maintenance department. We focus mostly on pillar 4 here. That pillar 4 is fostering operational excellence. And some of those things are maximizing resources, developing processes and systems, and long-range planning, not only in maintenance, but safety, efficiency, and sustainability throughout our department. And I just want to give a brief overview of some of the accomplishments of our department. It's going to lead off with a picture there of our employee of the year. What was it? Support staff of the year. And that was Evan in our maintenance department. He was very excited to get that, and just want to make sure I recognize him for that. Some other accomplishments we got there is we created a safety committee this year, and we updated safety manuals, implementation of the new work order system with the help of technology, improvement of the solar system, solar panels, and LED lighting upgrades, painting upgrades, and then continued education for my department. So that first one there, the safety committee, we developed and reignited a new safety committee this year consisting of administrators, board members, several local emergency personnel, and other staff members of the Valley Park School District. This committee has already met several times this year, pursuing goals, consistently reviewing and enhancing our safety operations and overviewing all of that, so that all that weight and responsibility that it doesn't fall on one person. We've even recently had a committee meeting where we had a community member come in, and they were able to talk to the group and present some of their concerns and ideas for safety. And we're looking to continue with that. We have new updates to the safety and security page on our website, where you can go on there and submit concerns and see any other information about safety and security that the district has out there. Second is our district safety manuals. We created this last year, and I had a collaboration with school staff, administrators, and community safety experts to update the school safety manuals. These safety manuals are what's in the classrooms. They help people with fire drills and anything in case of an emergency. They'll be able to grab these folders and have some information at their hands ready to use in case those emergencies. That is also something that we're always going to be reviewing in the safety committee to make sure that there's any updates or improvements that we can make to those so that they don't fall to the wayside. Third on there is the work order system. The district was able to implement a new work order system, and we had great success with this. District employees being able to track issues and projects that they've submitted, seeing it from start to finish, getting updates, and when the work orders resolved, we were able to consistently stay at 86% of our work orders completed in less than 24 hours. And the system doesn't only help me with the work order system. It was very inclusive, including tracking for parts, supplies, equipment depreciation, which is how much money we put towards each piece of equipment over its lifespan, and the workflow. It really has helped my department be more inclusive and responsive, so that when a work order is put in, not only the person holding a radio or myself, my whole crew gets it, and they're able to respond to it more quickly. The next accomplishment has been something I've worked on since I've started here, is our solar panels. I'm not sure if all of you notice it. I'm sure you see them every day when you walk in on this building. But these solar panels have been a very interesting project for me. They were inactive, not working, or not being monitored at the very least when I first started here. And I have a little graph there on the side. It's kind of hard to see. But the peak wattage for this is in megawatts per hour. And the second year that they were installed at full operation, they were pulling about 120. And that's what you're looking to see. And over the years, they kind of dipped, not just only due to lack of maintenance, but construction around the district. And I'm happy to say that as of last year, we reached back up to 118 megawatts an hour for production that year, which significantly caused us savings in our electrical bills. And I continue to monitor that and make sure that we stay at that peak operating capacity for those. It's just been a fun project, and hopefully I'll be pushing out more updates on that so you guys can kind of see the live action of those solar panels. Second, over the last 2 years, we've been working on LED lighting upgrade throughout the district. I've mostly been able to do this through grants with Ameren to get us a significant amount of light bulbs at very little cost to the district. Last year, we started with both the gyms and cafeterias. This allowed us to direct wire these lights so that we were saving energy by eliminating ballast. And it also provided a fresher, cleaner light for the areas. This program has not yet ended with Ameren. So as long as they have it, I will continue to apply for this. This year, we're hoping to finish all first floor hallways and classrooms throughout the district with LED lighting. So it's very exciting and it helps a lot with the energy. And it's a project that we've trained our crew in-house to do. Painting upgrades. So we've been working on a painting schedule because our district has not had one. This ensures that the districts can go on a rotation so that the hallways, common spaces, and all the classrooms get on a schedule. So that they're all getting painted on a consistent basis over a several-year period. We've made exciting progress through that with the high school this year. Not only did we repaint some areas, but we upgraded some of the coloring throughout the high school hallways. So it's very exciting to see some of that paint project come through, and that we'll be continuing that project and schedule so that everybody continues to get fresh paint in their classrooms. Continuing education. The maintenance department believes in training our employees. One of them has taken very deep training with us is Evan. He's part of our maintenance department, and he has not only been included in some of the MSBA training that we have out there, but he's also achieved his EPA license, which ensures and helps him learn the skills to work on our heating and cooling here so that we can make sure that that stays in-house and causes a significant savings. We continue to pull up extra training for this every year, and it's exciting to have the employees going through that training. They attended that MSBA last month, and each one of them received significant certificates through there: electrical safety, asbestos awareness, custodial and housekeeping, and that's free training that's through the MSBA that I'll continue to make sure our employees have the opportunity to do. So areas of growth for our department over the next year is increasing awareness of the safety committee and the practices of it, making sure that we're getting out there information about the website and places that they can submit concerns, and just what we're doing in that department to help keep everything safe. Adding safety training, I'm looking into training. I will be attending a MSBA safety conference that they're having this year, and hopefully one of the talking points in this is making sure that there is more training for not only me, but all of our staff on the safety aspect of our district. And continue decreasing contractors needed performing repairs and projects in-house. That's training Evan to do the lights. That's getting him his EPA license so that he can help with the heating and cooling needs around the district. And it's just something I'm always working towards, is making sure we cut out contractors coming to campus when not needed. So looking forward for the 22-23 year of Pillar 4, we're hoping to maintain our on-time completion of the maintenance request, collaborate with district leaders about yet best use of employee resources, update crisis manual, publicize safety committee, and continue professional development. My last slide is just questions. Sorry, mine was a little quicker. These guys have a lot more pillars to focus on. So it's a little easier on my end on that side. All right,
job.
thank you for listening.
Any public would like to talk? Go for it.
So I just want to touch on a couple things for Chris. We were down here, and I think there just needs to be an awareness around the district of an emergency phone number. When we were down here not long ago for basketball, the urinal was flooding the bathroom, and we had no clue who, I don't know that Coach Jarvis, he was coaching basketball, so no clue. Luckily, Ms. Buckman was there. We were able to get a hold of somebody to figure out how to get it. So I think we just need some contact phone numbers for emergencies on that stuff. And then also I would kind of looking for, employee incentives and looking for employees. One thing we see in the electrical industry that Chris touched on is the Ameren incentives. And one big one out there right now that the school may want to look at is EV charging. So Ameren offers up to 50% of the install cost for EV chargers. So if it costs $12,000 to put an EV charger, you're automatically from Ameren going to get back $6,000. So it's a huge incentive right now. I don't know, that money looks like it may run out. We're hearing in the next year and a half, but right now they have money. Everybody's starting to do it because the incentive's so well. But I just think that's an area you can focus on and maybe put a couple. Maybe there's a teacher you're trying to hire and that really sparks their interest. So just something I want to throw out to you guys.
Any more comments? One, two, one, so.
No, we're on, we had to approve the agenda first.
Oh,
We have to have a motion.
you need a motion to approve the agenda.
I move to approve the agenda.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
I guess.
Anybody?
Anyone opposed? Everyone said aye.
Procedure. I know. All right, we have an agenda, so then we need approval of consent items.
Okay, let's vote on approval for consent items. All in favor?
We need to ask if anybody wants to pull anything.
Oh, does anyone want to, thank you. Does anyone want to pull anything out?
Can I pull out 4.04, please?
Sure. Well, yes, okay, so all except 4 point, was it 4.02? Oh, 4.04. Okay, you want to go around and approve anything but 4.04?
You need a motion to approve.
Okay,
I move to approve everything except 4.04.
second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
You're approved.
Thank you.
Yeah. So now you need discussion on item 4.04, approval of the chart laws.
Okay, let's go with discussion.
All right, I just wanted to acknowledge that our food service program has been lacking in nutritional quality. This is something that I'm very passionate about. It's something that affects all of our students, elementary all the way through high school. So I've addressed my concerns with Dr. Dilge, and he has passed those concerns on to Chartwells. And they've responded, so that's promising. I look forward to working with them both directly and on the nutritional committee, on the wellness committee, in hopes of achieving our goals of getting our kids better food, better quality food, and hopefully some educational programs.
What do I do next?
We still need a motion to approve.
Here we need a motion to
4.04 approval of the chart was agreement.
4.02.
4.04 approval of the chart was agreement.
Thank you.
That's okay.
Want to go around and approve or not? Go ahead. I approve.
We need a motion first.
Oh, a motion to approve, sorry. Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Motion passes, thank you.
You're welcome. Next item is action item 5.01, bond defeasance. This is a revisit from last week. We do have Lorenzo Boyd here from Stiefel. Lorenzo talked with us last week about the defeasance of some of our bonds to basically pay for some of our longer term debt. He's back this evening. If you have any questions, and both for the board and the public, the bond defeasance is available for you on board docs for review. Lorenzo, thanks for being with us this evening. And I don't know if you want to give any updates.
Oh, thank you
Since
for
last
having
time,
me.
but I'll turn it over to you.
Well, thank you for having me. I only have one pillar to focus on. But I think before you have the resolution, the fees resolution. I think that's what's a little bit different from that, from what I presented last month. We talked about defeasing $800,000 from your series 2017 bonds. You'll see that the amount there is $1 million. We don't really have the final assessed valuation at this point, but it's a not to exceed amount. Just in case the assessed valuation comes in from St. Louis County much higher than anticipated, then we'll have the opportunity to defease much more of help, more bonds. But we still plan on if the numbers come in as we estimated, around 800,000 of those bonds from the 2017 issue. So we just vote to approve the resolution of a not to exceed amount of $1 million. And then we'll be set to do the defeasance once we receive that assessed valuation number, probably in September or so.
Make a motion to approve. All in favor?
Second.
Second. Okay, thank you. Aye.
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 Aye. Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you, Lorenzo.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
My one pillar pass.
Motion to adjourn to executive session.
Okay, let's make a motion to adjourn to executive session.
I move to adjourn to executive session.
Thank you. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
I roll call vote.
I roll call vote. Aye.
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 Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.